Hey friends, it's Becca with Beautiful Mess Plans, and it has been a while. Life got busy, and we went on vacation, and yeah. But I'm gonna do a May flip, a June flip, and kind of like a what I'm using right now. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be. I will warn you. Obviously you know this, but it's summer, so my kids are home, so they're watching a show. So if you hear noises in the background, that's what's going on. So let's start with my Sterling ink, my A5 Sterling ink. And let's go to May. So this is my May monthly. Don't let this deceive you. It felt like a crazy month because that's how the end of the school feels. And then I use the Rosy Life May, and then I use Rosy Life, give me a minute, June. It's been a long day, but this was June. I'm actually filming this on June 31st, so there may be a couple of things missing here and there, but yeah, we went on vacation and then came home and immediately had like a dozen appointments, it felt like, and you know, it was just a lot. So we'll get into the week. So this is beginning of May. The kids were still in school at that point, so I was definitely still, and then there was like, we were getting into playoff hockey. I mean, there was still just hockey going on. Playoff hockey, I was kind of using this still as like some memory stuff. Some notes here and there. I was just trying to look. It's been so long. We'll just kind of look and see if anything triggers it. Field day for my kids. I didn't do much this week. I kind of left it pretty empty. I think at this point I was starting to kind of see the writing on the wall, which we'll talk about more as we get farther along. But I didn't really do much decorating. The last day of school, I did like the purple. The purple was really pretty. And then there would be times that I would like mark down extra things that I were doing, but for the most part I was just like putting down my schedule. And then Memorial Day, and then we headed on vacation. These are alphas from something else. And then I just wrote down like what we did each day, like the big thing we did each day. So we went to, I won't go too much into my vacation because I actually have my travel journal here that I want to show you guys as well. But I just wrote down the big things, and we'll talk about those big things later. But then we were gone all this week, still using the Rosy Life here. We got back, and obviously I started to use it, and then that was that was as far as it got, because I was like, I don't know how to use it in the summer. So I actually switched my layout altogether, and I was trying this one. I was looking on Instagram and I found someone use this layout, and so I was like, well, let's give it a shot. And I liked it quite a bit because I could do mostly to-do lists. I had my like appointments or things going on up here, and then my to-do list here, and then like a tracker. And then this was last week. And again, same thing where it was working really well. Like this layout was working really well. So that is what it looks like in here. Oh, actually, because I've decided to make some changes, I also moved my book stuff. So we're going to look at books in this journal instead of in that planner. So this is, it's going to feel like this is all over the place. This is this came in the Rosy Life Jane Austen kit. And I decided that I wanted to use this as a book journal. And I basically just set up the pages pretty much exactly what I already had in my planner. I'll probably I'm going to find a 2026 to mark that here. But I have my, my book of the month, my A to Z challenge, series tracker for these 2 pages, my unread bingo, and then my monthly pages, which look pretty much the same. So for May, I only read 5 books, and of those 5, I listened to 4 of them, giving me a total of 27 hours, 6 minutes, and then just 325 pages, which is just the one book. And then for June, I haven't calculated it all up, although I could have, because I'm not going to finish another book today, because I just finished this one yesterday and then like the day before. But again, 5 books. I've been in a major reading rut, honestly. And my husband and I listened to Beautiful Ugly, on our trip together. We started Local Woman Missing, and then he really wasn't that interested. So we switched to The Midnight Feast, which we started listening to, didn't finish on the trip, and then I finished reading it once I got home. So it was kind of all over the place. But that's the books for May and June. A little bit of a reading rut, just kind of where I'm at. But I'm just gonna, use this until I complete it, and that's how I am currently doing books in this. Let's go to the travel journal. I actually have pages I need to put together in my memory planner. I just haven't got to it yet. So this is a B5, I think it is. I'll make sure I kind of got it in the screen. B5 Midori, I think it is. No, Leuchtturm, 1917. So it's a B5 size though, so it's a larger size. Like this is an A5 in comparison. But I wanted to try this for a travel journal and see what we got. So I used, this is like Cocoa Daisy paper, and I just use Silhouette to make my letters, and then I cut it out and put it here. And then I did a picture of what our route was using Google Maps, and I just like screenshotted it. And I actually put so we stopped at Mushroom State Park, Little Jerusalem, Dinosaur, Arches, Canyonland, Gooseneck, Grand Canyon, Mesa Verde, and then back home. It didn't quite circle, and I should have taken off the construction things and all that, but it's totally fine. So that was our route, and then I still haven't taped this in. Our first day, we stopped at Mushroom State Park for lunch here in Kansas. It was kind of cool. Smallest state park in Kansas. This was like we need somewhere to eat for lunch, and this is what I picked. And then, but our main destination that day was actually Little Jerusalem Badlands State Park, which is what these pictures are in the middle of Kansas. Who knew that there was this going on? So it was silly hot, but we kind of did the hiking trail there. It was pretty cool to see. And then the next day was basically a driving day to get out to Rifle, Colorado, just to stay. But we stopped, once we got there, we went over to Rifle Falls State Park in Colorado. Very cool state park. It had 3 50-foot waterfalls there, and you could go up top, which is what this picture is, looking down at the waterfalls. It was very cool. If you're ever in the area, I definitely recommend it. It was a very cool park. It was I think $15 for out of state, so a little bit on the pricey side, but all of our national parks were free for us this year because my son is in 4th grade. So in case you don't know this, when you have a kid in 4th grade, you can get a free 4th grade pass, and it gets your entire family or your entire car in. And by entire family, it's there is a limit to 3 adults, I think, 3 or 4, I can't remember what it is, and then all the kids. But for us, obviously, it's just me and my husband. But got us in for free to all of the national parks. So paying $15 to go to a state park, not that big of a deal. But it was a very cool park. And then we went to Dinosaur, which was all my kids' favorite national park we went to, or national monument, I guess. Very cool park, a wall of dinosaur fossils. So definitely worth it. And then the next day, a lot of driving, but we went to Canyonlands, and we actually went to the Needles District, not the Island in the Sky, which is the more popular one. It was very cool. So here, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but up here on the top is what's called Needles. And this trip was very rock centric, but it's just the way that those formed, they look like needles. So that was a very cool one. And then we went to Arches, obviously Arches. We did not go to the most popular arch, which was Delicate Arch, but we did see 7 other ones. So Delicate Arch just felt like too much. But it was very cool to see all these other ones. And yeah, it was a cool park. We stayed at a hotel 5 minutes away, which was really nice. And then on our drive heading to the Grand Canyon, we stopped at Gooseneck State Park just for lunch. And this is what Gooseneck State Park looks like. And it was terrifying. I am terrified of heights. I get vertigo real bad, and it was terrifying. But because this entire trip was a lot of heights, but we survived it. Nobody fell down. Yay. And then we got to the Grand Canyon, and it was Wildlife Central for us. So this was their first look at the Grand Canyon. I don't know if my husband had been there before. I don't think he had. My kids definitely hadn't. So this was their first look at the Grand Canyon. And then we saw a giant elk, and we went over to the mule barn, which the kids loved. And then we also saw another mule deer when we were over at the mule barn. So very wildlife centric. And then we had our Grand Canyon day. So we hiked just a little bit into the Grand Canyon, not very far because, again, terrified of heights. But we did the entire like rim trail for the most part. Most of the rim trail. Did their junior rangers. We went the other way. Like we did a fair amount. And it so happened that my sister and her family arrived at the Grand Canyon the day, like our full day there. So we got to take a picture in front of the canyon together. So was fun. They were headed farther out to California. And this was kind of like our farthest point. And then we were going to circle back around. The next day we went to Mesa Verde, and I found a hotel that actually had bunk beds, like a bunk bed room inside the hotel. Kids loved it. But we did the Cliff Palace tour at Mesa Verde, and they loved it. That was like their second favorite thing. So if you ever have a chance to go to Mesa Verde, I don't know about the other tours. We didn't do those, but the Cliff Palace was very, very cool. And my kids really liked it. And then the next day was like, after Mesa Verde, the next day was a drive day. And then we stopped at Fort Lardin in Kansas, and, you know, one last hurrah. I will tell you, this trip got a little stressful because when we were in Dinosaur, our car started acting up. And we thought, okay, maybe we were driving on some gravel, maybe it kicked up into the sensors. And then we got to Mesa Verde and it wouldn't stop acting up. And we ended up having to replace a sensor that controlled our engine temperature because our car sensor broke. And so it turned our car into fail-safe mode. So it was drivable, but not ideal. Our air conditioning wouldn't work. And it was a disaster. So we ended up buying the part, but then my husband's like, I can't replace it. I don't have any tools. I have no know-how. It was the weekend. Luckily, we were able to get a hold of someone that was able to come out on Sunday and replace it, like a mobile mechanic that came out and replaced it. But man, that was a little stressful. And this is our license plate map because we do this every year. And I was really excited because I found Hawaii and I found a Delaware. So the only ones I was missing was Alaska, Vermont, Rhode Island, and a full Maine. We highlight, like we just do the outline if we see a semi with it, and then we color it if we've seen a car. So we only saw the semi with Maine. So I was only, I didn't see a Delaware. I saw a New Hampshire. That's what I saw. So I was missing Delaware, Vermont, Rhode Island, and Alaska, and then a full Maine. But that is our travel journal. And what I used for our travels is I actually used this old Planner Perfect notebook that's like TN size. And I actually just kept track of everything in here, had all of our information. And this time I'm going to do it in the future too, because this worked really well. Because then I just brought this. It had my list in it, and yeah. So that's what I used. I can retire those things until another trip. Let's see. So now, because I don't have the other memory planner done, now we'll kind of talk through what I'm doing different. So I have hit a wall with my planner. I have been using Sterling ink for, this is my third year now, I think. This is my first year in the A5, but third year. And I've just kind of hit a wall where I'm just like, there's something I'm not liking. So I haven't planner jumped in a long time, but we're planner jumping now. So for the last 6 months, I'm actually going to switch back to bullet journal style. I haven't bullet journaled since 2022, like the beginning of 2022. So it's been a long time, but that's actually how I started planning, is bullet journals. So I have quite a few bullet journals up there, and before I started like trying out other things because I didn't want a bullet journal anymore. Well, now I want to because I've been thinking about it for a long time. So for the rest of the year, I am going to be using a bullet journal. I am going to be using this as my book journal. And then in addition, I have this bullet journal that I am using as a fitness journal. So I can't remember if I talked about this before. And it's pretty basic, where like I have like a fitness tracker here. And then I have like a weight tracker, I have measurements, and then I just like write down my workout and just write a little thing. I have a calendar that I'm using to actually write down what my workouts are, and super simple. This will be able to be used for several years. And then I showed you my book journal, so I'm switching to that. And then my bullet journal, I'm going back to bullet journaling. So I don't know. Oh, and sorry, I got distracted. There's already stuff on it. I'm a mess. Also, I am no longer going to be using the Rosy Life Planner subscription, and there's a couple reasons. One, it is expensive, and it comes, and some of that cost is just shipping because it's coming from Finland, and that just kind of, it's a lot. So I decided to drop that. On top of that, I think I want something that has a little bit more fun to it, that has a little bit more, I don't know. I'm like on this quest in our house to add more color, to add more whimsy. I mean, we have a porch goose dressed in Hawaiian wear. I'll try to remember to insert a picture here. Like I'm kind of all about like trying to, I don't know, add a little bit more color and fun in it. Yeah. So I decided that I don't know that although her stuff is beautiful, I don't know that it's for me. I am not a huge fan of pink. And like every kid has pink, every single one of them. There's a lot of florals, and I'm not a big floral fan. And yeah, I think I'm just missing something. So I dropped that subscription, and instead I'm actually going to do a huge pivot, and I'm going to do Hubman and Chubb Girl for a while. I don't have anything yet to show you, but that is something that I will show you once we get there. But I can actually show you this week, which I used a Hubman and Chubb Girl stickers that I already had, but it's these strawberry cows. They make me really happy. So this is the current week and that I've been using, and I set it up just the same, but I don't think I'm going to keep to this layout because this layout's not going to work for me in the bullet journal, but I'm going to kind of play around. That's the fun part about the bullet journal, is I can play around. But like, this is the kind of vibe I think I want for a while. So, yeah, I guess I could give you a quick rundown of what I'm using. So I moved over some of my stuff. I need to switch this actually. This. So, and I recopied a lot. So this page I painstakingly did because I use this as my Repatha and period tracker. So that's this first page. And then I have my writing tracker. So the different colors signify the different projects I'm working on. And I messed up here, but, yeah, this just helps me kind of track so that as I plan future projects, I kind of know how long something takes me. And then I have my goals page, a brain dump. This is Coffee Monster Co. Same with this one, washi tape. And then I have an order tracker, house projects. So some of these are exactly the same as I already had. My Marvel watch through, my Disney watch through. This is a blank page, and then these are blank pages. And I'm either going to use this as a TV show tracker, or I'm going to use it as when hockey season, when I get my hockey schedule, and write down the hockey schedule here. So something's going to go here. And then I have my monthlies. So this is July, and it's all just in pencil. So it's probably like, oh, you can see it okay. Because I'm waiting for my July Hubman and Chubb Girl stuff to come. And so, but I don't know like how big the date dots are. I don't know how, so it's like I did everything in pencil so that I can easily like adjust as I need to. And then after I know that, it will be a lot easier to do the other calendars because I use my calendars as my calendar. I mean, I have a Google one with my husband, but I use these. And so I like to be able to like fill something out in here, but I don't know what size things are yet. So once I get that, I'll be able to lay these out a little bit more permanently, and then like be able to still decorate each month with the monthly kit. So I'm waiting for that to come, but that's what my monthlies are. And then I just have those monthlies. And then I did although it's repetitive, I did do my workout tracker in here as well, like what program I'm doing, my fitness rewards, and then I'm going to do a cover page here, and I know what I'm going to do, but again, waiting for my Hubman and Chub Girl subscription to come, and then I have my first weekly. So I have not even drawn out next week yet, but I probably will do that soon because it's fun to do. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and I don't know where my voice went. And probably for the rest of the year, and we'll see what next year brings. But I think I just needed some fun, and I have a lot of fun stickers that felt like it just didn't match the vibe of like the Rosy Life stuff. Like it's a me thing. Oh my goodness. It's a me thing completely where I'm like, well, I can't have this like elegant, nice looking stuff with kind of like cutesy things. That's a me thing. So, but I think I just want the cutesy, you know, like I want the weird little woodland animals that are dressed as strawberries, or I think the July kit it's like beach birds. So it's a bunch of like derpy looking pigeons on a beach, you know, like it's just fun. And I think that's just what I need right now. So I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. So if you have any questions, let me know. I know it's been a while. I'm going to try to do this regularly, but it's really hard with the summer with the kids being home. I will say next week there will not be a video because my kids are actually going to be gone. They're going to be at my parents' house, and my husband took the week off, and I'm not going to be working while my husband is home. Like, we're going to go do other things. We actually have a couple projects we're going to work on around the house, and then just like enjoy some kid free time. So I don't know how regular my videos will be. I haven't been great with social media, haven't been great with videos. I'm kind of all over the place. Summer, man. Life, man. But I thought I'd give you an update anyway. And that's what I got. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Sorry about the dinosaurs in the background. They're watching Camp Crochet. They're watching a show and I can't pronounce it apparently. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.